Welcome back to Decked Out.
On today's episode, our players are off on a D&D adventure, and we are joined by Quincy from Quincy's Tavern and Zbexx.
As always, thank you to our sponsors, Tales of Adventure, Moxfield, and Ultimate Guard, but more on them later in the video.
That's enough from us for now. Let's get this adventure on the road.
Hi, I'm Zbexx. I'm a professional cosplayer and trading card game personality, and today I'm playing Lulu, loyal Hollyphant, with the background Tavern Brawler. So let's go ahead and start some fights, throw the punches, and maybe get some Boros Angels on the battlefield too.
Hi, my name is Quincy of Quincy's Tavern. I'm all over social media. I do tavern stuff, poetry, and just kind of do videos POV of like as if you're talking to the bartender. I'm so excited to be here on Decked Out for the first time. I am bringing a very special deck. When they said it was a tavern theme, I'm bringing hobbits. What's more taverny than food and fellowship and such? So I will have Sam, loyal attendant, and Frodo, adventurous hobbit. The goal is pretty much typical of out of the pre-con with a slight adjustment, but it's make food, make friends, maybe win? We'll see.
Gandalf? Ah, Gandalf the Grey. That's what they used to call me. I am Gandalf the Blue, and I will be playing all of my sorceries at flash speed, which means I get to do my favorite thing in all of Magic. Wait till someone's end step and say, "You shall not pass." I have a card to play at your end step.
Every good party needs a ranger, and that is why today I am playing Varys. My deck is built for two different themes. One, wolves, obviously, and to take advantage of his venture mechanic. So I have cards like Temur Sabertooth to allow me to bounce creatures back and forth, or play them from the top of my library so I never run out of creatures to help me venture. Today's featured sponsor is Tales of Adventure.
This holiday season, get everyone in your life something special thanks to Tales of Adventure's wide range of different Magic singles. Grandma could definitely use a second EDH deck, and I'm sure you can find something perfect for everybody special in your life.
And there's no rule that says you can't pick yourself up a little treat, and there's no better time to do it because you're gonna get 5% off your entire order when you use code DECKEDOUT at checkout. You can find that link and code down below in the description.
All right, let's get into the game. I'm just tired of Mom playing stacks.
Welcome to the tavern. I guess we're rolling for initiative. 18.
18.
Roll off.
So we roll off.
Okay.
3.
18
oh
again.
My goodness. Okay, fine, whatever, take it.
Yeah. Play an island, and my turn 1 play is a preordain. I will scry 2 and draw a card. I will keep this on top and put this one on the bottom and then draw, and then I am done.
I would very much like to have this Razor Grassfield enter untapped, so I'll take 3 life and then tap it for white and cast Segovian Angel, a 1/1 flying vigilant.
Stop. Oh my gosh.
Baby angel.
It is a baby angel.
What the heck?
So cute.
All right, I also have a turn 1 play, so we'll see if Quincy can keep up. 1 forest for a Mist Breath Elder. A 2/2 that says at the beginning of my upkeep I have to return another creature I control to my hand. If I do, I get to put a +1/+1 counter on it. Otherwise, I may return Mist Breath, so I don't have to. And then I will pass the turn.
Okay, turn 1 play, give it to me. Well, no, okay, that's fine. All right, we will play the Fortified Village, which enters the battlefield. I may reveal a plains or a forest to make it untapped. So I'll reveal a forest and pass turn.
Okay, Forest, write that down, write that down.
Write that down, write that down.
I will play a Castle Vantress, which enters untapped because I control an island, and I can pay 4 to scry 2. And I will pay 2 for Airball Antics. Create a 1/1 blue and red otter creature token with prowess, but if it was cast from anywhere other than my hand, I put a counter onto it, but it has flashback. Okay, there is my otter, and I will pass.
Untap, upkeep, draw. Ooh, that was such a clutch draw. Okay, I'm going to play Shinka, the Blood-Soaked Keep, which can tap for red, or I can pay a red and tap it to give target legendary creature first strike. But more importantly, now I can play this Arcane Signet.
Whoa.
Let's move to combat. Nerd Girl, I'm starting with you. I'm gonna attack you for 1.
No blocks.
Okay, pass.
All right, I actually am going to return the Mist Breath to my hand because I like my other play better. I'm gonna play a forest for turn and Just like my commander, I'm gonna play a ranger class. When it enters the battlefield, I get to make a 2/2 green wolf. And I can pay 2 to level it up, and when I attack, put a +1/+1 counter on an attacking creature. I can pay 4 to level it up again, which allows me to look at the top of my library at any time, and I can cast creature spells from the top. Ranger class is one of my favorite cards in this deck. It's not only incredibly on theme, it's also very powerful. It's helping me make more wolves and make those creatures bigger so I can get them into combat easier. Here is my wolf token.
It's so cute.
It is the cutest. He's the best boy.
What's its name?
Hammy. And then I'll pass the turn.
Amazing. All right. Untap, upkeep, draw. All right. Wait, what does this one do? I don't want that one. All right. We are going to play a swamp. I'm going to white and black, and I will bring out my commander, Frodo, Adventurous Hobbit. Partner with Sam, Loyal Attendant, Vigilance. Whenever Frodo, Adventurous Hobbit, attacks, if I've gained 3 or more life this turn, the ring tempts me. Then, if Frodo is my ring bearer and the ring has tempted me 2 or more times this game, I draw a card. Otherwise, it's just a 1/3 that does nothing for me. Pass turn.
Do not tempt me, Frodo Baggins.
I will be tempting myself.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
I think.
I will play a Rogue's Passage, which can make a creature unblockable. And then I'm going to pay 3 for Hercule, Master Wizard.
Huh?
It's a 2/4 at the beginning of my end step. If I've cast a non-creature spell this turn, I reveal the top 5 cards of my library. And for each card type among non-creature spells that I've cast this turn, I can put a card of that type from among the revealed cards into my hand. So if I cast an instant, I can grab an instant, etc., for non-creature spells. Hercule represents a lot of potential card advantage, but it only triggers at the end of my turn. So I'm gonna focus more on maximizing value out of that ability than getting Gandalf on the board right away. I will go to combat, and I don't think that Zbexx wants to trade her Angel for this Otter, so I will swing for 1.
All right, I will not block. But now I'm coming for you, Gandalf.
I will pass the turn.
All right, let's play a Sundown Pass, which enters untapped because I do control 2 other lands. And it's time to bring Lulu, Loyal Hollyphant, into play. A 3/2 legendary elephant angel with flying. At the beginning of my upkeep, if a permanent I control left the battlefield this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on each tapped creature you control, then untap them, and I can choose a background. Which of course is Tavern Brawl. Let's fight.
So you've been the one messing up everything.
All right, well, Vigilance doesn't cause things to tap or leave, but that's okay. I was gonna go around the table, but now you asked for it, so I'm gonna attack you for
get 'em.
1 veggie. Yeah, pass.
Let's go ahead and play a Circle of Dreams Druid for turn. A 2/1 that allows me to tap it for 1 green for each creature I control. You know, Zbexx, I don't think you're gonna trade. My good boy's coming for 2.
I'm not going to trade, but an elephant never forgets.
And then I will pass the turn.
All right, we'll play this forest that you totally forgot was in my hand. And we will pay a white, a green, and a black to bring out Sam, Loyal Attendant. Now I have both my commanders on the battlefield. Sam, Loyal Attendant, is a 2/4 legendary halfling peasant. At the beginning of my combat on my turn, I create a food token, and the activated abilities of food I control cost me 1 less to activate, so he eats food faster. Moving to combat, Sam will create a food. Food! Look how cute. Very, very cute. And I will do nothing else and pass the turn.
I'm going to start with Serum Visions. I will draw a card and then scry 2. Oh, right, I'm trying to set up the thing. I will put both of these on the bottom. I'll play an Otawara as my land for turn. I'm going to go to combat. My Otter is a 2/2, so I will send the 2/2 at Zbexx and the 2/4 at NerdGirl, because there are butts over there with Quincy, so
Yes.
too thick.
No blocks.
No blocks.
Okay, you each take 2. And then I will pay my remaining 3 for an Amphibian Downpour. It has Storm, so I'll copy it 1 additional time since I've cast another spell this turn. Enchant creature, and the enchanted creature loses all abilities and is a 1/1 frog. So I will target the Circle of Dreams Druid with 1, and I will put the other one on Lulu.
I'm setting up my commander to do things with my background, and then Veggie just ruined my plans with the frog. Wow. Put it on maybe at least like an earring so it looks stylish, Gandalf.
Okay, and then I'll pass to my end step, and Hercule will say, look at the top 5, and if I can get a sorcery and or an enchantment, then I put them in my hand.
That's wild.
And I got none of those things, so I will put these on the bottom of my library. That's my turn, pass.
I will play a tapped Castle Embereth, and using 3 mana, I will cast Paladin Elizabeth Taggarty. Huzzah! She is a human knight with battalion. Whenever she and at least 2 other creatures attack, draw a card, then you may put a creature card with mana value X or less from your hand onto the battlefield tapped and attacking, where X is her power. And she starts off as a 3/2.
And she's a paladin, therefore she fits.
She's my friend, unlike everyone else who's attacking me. I don't get your joke.
You're the tavern brawler.
Yes, let's get angry and attack.
I didn't hurt Lulu, just saying.
You didn't. I do remember your 2 attack, but I am mad at Veggie. So again, Veggie, I'm gonna send the Segovian Angel at you for 1.
I'll take 1.
You know what?
And the frog.
Yeah, I'm sending
And
the frog at you too, just in spite. Take 2.
Get frogged.
But not to be mistaken with Gitrog. Pass.
All right. Let's go ahead and play a forest for turn, and I'm gonna start with my commander. Varys Silvermoon Ranger, a 3/3 with reach and ward 1. And whenever I cast a creature spell, I can venture into the dungeon. This ability triggers only once per turn. And whenever I complete a dungeon, I get to make another wolf.
Ooh, going on adventures.
And then I will play another creature indeed. The Mist Breath Elder will come back out, which hopefully next turn will save my druid. I will get a Varys trigger and I'll get to venture into the dungeon. And my first dungeon is going to be the Lost Mine of Phandelver. So I will get to venture into the first room, which allows me to scry 1. Sure, I will keep that on top and pass the turn.
Alrighty. I'll play a Grey Pelt Refuge. It comes in tapped. So when it does come in, I will gain 1 life though. Moving to the main phase, we will invite a new guest to this taverny dinner. I will bring in a rapacious guest, a halfling citizen 2/2 with menace. Whenever 1 or more creatures I control deal combat damage to a player, I will create a food token. And whenever I sacrifice a food, I put a 1/1 counter on rapacious guest. When the rapacious guest leaves the battlefield, target opponent loses life equal to its power. I will move to combat, and Sam will trigger, and I will create another food. Let's do some...
Looks like NerdGirl is open.
You are wide open, Mr. Gandalf. Frodo will attack you for 1 vigilance.
I'll take 1.
And the rapacious guest will make a food for you being attacked with one of my creatures. We got there. Pass turn.
I think I'm going to start with the saddest little Born Upon a Wind. I can cast spells this turn as though they had flash, but I just need to draw a card. And then I will follow that up with the saddest little Mystic Sanctuary, which will enter tap because I don't have enough islands. While my Otter is still a 2/2, I'll get my 1 good attack because this is aggro mono blue. I will send 2 more at Zbexx.
I will still not block your 2.
And then I'll go to my end step and I can look at the top 5, and I played an instant this turn, so if there's 1 in here, then I get it. 2, 3, 4, 5. There's not, so we'll put those on the bottom of the deck and pass the turn.
I will then cast Animbakal, Thousandth Moon, a legendary human soldier. Whenever I attack with one or more non-gnome creatures, put a +1/+1 counter on it, then create X11 gnome artifact creature tokens that are tapped and attacking, where X is the number of +1/+1 counters on an Animbakal. Before I attack, I'm also going to use the rest of my mana to bring out my Tavern Brawler, my legendary enchantment background, where commander creatures you own, which it's a frog, currently has, at the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library. This creature gets +X+0 until end of turn, where X is that card's mana value, and I may play that card that turn. Yeah. So get ready for my next turn, everybody. But first, let's brawl it out.
Give
I'm
him
heading
the
to
chair.
combat. Yeah. I will attack you for 1 in the air, and when I attack, I will get this trigger on Animbakal, putting a counter on it, and creating a gnome token that's also tapped and attacking. The gnome is attacking Gandalf Veggie.
I will block your gnome and I'll take 1 in the air.
I don't have my ability if I'm a permanent left the battlefield, so I'll be sad a little bit. You can use my tears in your next recipe,
no.
and I'll pass.
Salt the soup.
Let's go ahead and untap, and on my upkeep, I'll use the Mist Breath Binder to return the Circle Dreams Druid to my hand. That'll put a counter onto the Mist Breath Binder.
No more frog.
Combo.
Can't believe you won't help Zbexx out by doing that to her too.
I'm gonna help Zbexx out.
You are actually help though?
Maybe.
Questionably.
All right, for turn, I'm gonna go ahead and play a forest. I'm scared of Zbexx. So.
I do have pretty big fists.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and play the Circle of Dreams Druid. When I play a creature, it'll allow Varys to go into the dungeon. And I am gonna go ahead and go to the Goblin's Lair. And that is going to give me a little 1/1 goblin friend.
Okay, everyone, I'm helping. I am going to pay 2 and cast this counter spell to counter your Circle of Dreams Druid. Because Gaia's Cradle on a creature seems pretty good.
Okay, so that will go into the graveyard. And my last 2 mana, I'm gonna go ahead and cast another mana dork. Biophagus, a 1/3 that says I can tap to add mana of any color. If this mana was spent on a creature, I get to put a +1/+1 counter on it instead. All right, I'm gonna come and attack Veggie. I can't get through the butts. I'm gonna attack Veggie for 6, 2 3/3s.
I will block your commander and take 3.
Okay. And then that'll be it. I'll pass the turn.
We will pay 3, bring out a commander sphere. All this food, I want to do something with it. So we'll pay 1, sacrifice a food, gain 3 life. The gaining 3 life will put a counter on the rapacious guests as they eat food as I am cooking it. We will move to combat, and Sam will create another food token. Yes, we will do this. We will swing out. I will swing Frodo and Rapacious Guest at Veggie. Rapacious Guest has Menace. It is a 3/3. Frodo, when he attacks, I have attack triggers. If I've gained 3 or more life this turn, which I have, the ring tempts me. I will choose Frodo to be the bearer of the ring, and the first ability is the Ring Bearer is legendary and can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. So, 4 damage to your face.
I just countered NerdGirl's thing. I'm not trying to rob you. I'm trying to help you.
You're also very wide open.
I will take 4, one of its commander.
Yes. Pass turn.
Let's get some more blockers out, because that seems pretty good right now. I'm gonna play this Murmuring Mystic. It's a 1/5. Whenever I cast an instant or sorcery spell, I create a 1/1 bird with flying. Fly, you fools? I don't know if that's gonna work this time. Making a bunch of 1/1 birds does represent a long-term win con, but I don't know if 1 or 2 spells per turn is going to be enough to keep up with everybody else. And then I will also pay 1 for a Storm Chaser's Talent. I make another otter, and I can level it up to return an instant or sorcery from my graveyard to my hand, and level it up once more so that whenever I cast an instant or sorcery, I make another otter. So here's an otter one.
2.
And now I think the attacks are pretty bad. So I'll pass my end step. I did cast a non-creature spell, so if any of these are an enchantment, then I can put that into my hand. All right, we're gonna put those on the bottom.
Oh no.
I'll pass turn.
Untap upkeep trigger from Tavern Brawler. I get to exile the top card of my library. Oh, it's a Temple of Triumph. So creatures get +0. This gets +0, +0 this turn. But that's okay, because I may play this card this turn. I will play the Temple of Triumph, scrying 1. You're starting to look scary.
I just have snacks and hobbits.
Okay,
I don't know what you're talking about.
I like snacks. Are you still going to be coming at me, or are you actually helping? Because I think
I helped.
you could be a helpful wizard.
Yeah.
Okay. My attacks are Segovian Angel and Paladin Elizabeth Taggarty at NerdGirl, and the frog is coming to Quincy, so it can be an ingredient.
If you block it, she could play Lulu again. She wants it dead.
That's what I figured.
So I've declared my attackers. Before Elizabeth's attack trigger goes off, I'm going to pay 3 and tap Castle Embereth, so creatures I control get +1/+0 this turn. So now with her attack trigger, I get to draw a card, and I may put a creature with mana value 4 or less into play tapped and attacking. I'm angry about how much damage I've taken. Let's brawl.
Okay.
Let me do some more triggers that I've got. Anim Pikal, I've got some non-gnomes attacking, and I have a counter that's going on it. So I get 2 gnome tokens coming into play, tapped and attacking. These creatures that just entered, they're all going at NerdGirl.
Okay.
And before you can block, I'm going to cast Center Soul on Elizabeth Taggarty so that she gains protection from green until end of turn.
Okay. I would recommend not blocking, by the way, for you specifically. It's just 1. But my blocks will be a 1/3 on Anger, and I will block 1 of the gnomes with my wolf.
Zbexx, let's make a deal.
Oh no.
I will block your frog so you can get your commander back and do your shenanigans and tavern brawly stuff, because what is a tavern without a brawler?
Yes.
For a future favor.
Oh.
I hate this.
I love this.
Perfect.
Door
Wonderful.
number 1.
Love it. I'm all about favors. I love making deals. When I offered the open-ended, I expected Zbexx to counter with some other kind of offer, but she didn't. So you can have your commander back. I will take my deal. I will block your frog with Sam the Loyal Attendant.
Okay, my frog is going to die. Take it back. And then one of my gnomes dies. You're taking 7.
All right. I will take the 7.
That felt like a successful brawl.
I look forward to cashing in a future favor.
It shall be exquisite. Pass.
All right, untap. I have to now return a creature with Misbreath. I'm gonna return the goblin to my hand, which will put a counter onto Misbreath. All right, Zbexx, I think you might be getting a little too big and scary. So I'm gonna pay 3, and I'm gonna cast Sword of Body and Mind. It's an equipment that gives me +2/+2 and protection from blue and green. And whenever the equipped creature deals combat damage, I get to create a wolf token, and the player is going to mill 10 cards. Sword of Body and Mind is a cool card in my deck. It's gonna allow me to build up a ton of wolves so that way when I find my wolf payoff cards, I'll have one explosive turn. It's gonna make my creature quite large when I suit it up. And then I'm gonna go to combat and I'm going to swing for 6.
Angel, you've done great work attacking Veggie. You are now going to save me from milling 10 cards.
All right, so your angel will go under a frog bus.
In the harms of an angel.
And then I will pass the turn.
On your end step, I will pay 1 on my commander sphere, sacrifice a food, gain 3 life. I sacrifice a food, so Rapacious Guest will nom that and get a bit stronger. And then we'll move to my turn. Missing my lands. That's unfortunate. But we persist. We'll pay 2, cast Farseek. I will search my library for a plains, island, swamp, or mountain card and put it on the battlefield. Tapped and shuffle. So we'll put a plains out here. Tapped. We will continue just building up a board. I will bring out a prize pig. It is like a golden goose, but with food. Prize Pig is a 0/3 creature boar. Whenever I gain life, I put that many ribbon counters on the Prize Pig. Then if there are 3 or more ribbon counters on the Prize Pig, remove those counters and untap it. And I add 1 mana. I can tap it to add 1 mana of any color. So it combos with Sam and the food, kind of more so getting more life than mana. All right, moving to combat. Sam is going to trigger and create me another food. Before I declare attackers, I am going to do it this way. I'm going to tap my Commander Sphere, sacrifice a food, gain 3 life. Rapacious Guest will eat that, gain 1 counter. Frodo, Adventurous Hobbit, is going to swing. Rapacious Guest is going to swing all at Zbexx. Frodo, Adventurous Hobbit, has a trigger, which will tempt the ring. I go to level 2 on the ring. Whenever the ring bearer attacks, I draw a card and then discard a card. I will discard a Lobelia Sackville Baggins. That is 5, 6 at your face, Zbexx. And Frodo cannot be blocked because against creatures with higher power. He is a 1/3.
I will not block. I will take 5.
6.
I will take 6.
Pass.
That was a great brawl in the tavern. I'll take those punches.
My Rapacious Guest just kind of blah, 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 blah.
He's the tavern keeper. He doesn't tolerate your brawling.
Gives it right back.
I am going to pay 5 mana for a multiple choice. It's X is 4. If X is 1, I scry 1, draw a card. If it's 2, I choose a player and they bounce a creature to their hand. If it's 3, I make a 4/4 elemental, but it is all of the above because X is 4. So I will scry 1 and draw a card. Yeah, we'll put that on the bottom. I will choose a player. Quincy.
Uh-oh.
Return 1 of your creatures to your hand, your choice.
Come back here, piggy.
Here's my elemental from multiple choice and my bird, which I particularly like because it shows how birds can carry things in the air to different places. These Universes Beyond crossovers are getting ridiculous. I will pass the turn. I cast a sorcery, so Hercule is going to look at 5 more cards. I just want 1. I just want 1. Yes, we did it.
A good one, too.
Wow.
So I'm going to put this Devastation Tide into my hand. Everyone be aware, I can just return all permanents to their owner's hands when I want to. I'll pass turn.
I'm going to rebound Center Soul on Enim Pekal.
Protection from what, though?
Green.
I like that.
I'm going to play a land for the turn. Castle Ardenvale comes in untapped because I control a plains. Then I'm going to recast my commander, Lulu, Loyal Hollyphant. Yay! Big Air team. Nerd Girl, I'm going to attack you with my creatures, 3 of them, so that I will have attack triggers.
Okay.
I will put a +1/+1 counter on a Nim Pakal and then have 3 gnomes enter tapped and attacking. I'm going to have Elizabeth's trigger go off, so I will draw a card. And I will choose not to play a creature from my hand tapped and attacking.
All right, well, I will just go to sad blocks. I wanted to trade with the Paladin, but you have potentially first strike, so I can't.
Also, it has, oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're not trading with that, it's too big.
And it has protection from green.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have Varys block Anger, because you have no mountains, and then I will block 2 of your gnomes with my bigger things, and I will take the rest.
Okay, so I'm gonna lose 2 gnomes and Anger.
And then I will go ahead and take 8. Yikes.
It's a massacre. So now that I'm moving to my end step, I'm going to get to put counters on all of my tapped creatures. We'll go here, and here, and here, and I get to untap them too.
Oh, so that's what the elephant does.
Oh my God, Quincy.
I just wanted the deal. I just wanted a favor. That's all I was thinking.
Oh no.
Pass turn.
All right, so let's untap, and then I have to use my Mist Breath. I am gonna go ahead and just return the Biophagus to my hand, and which will put a counter. How do I kill Zbexx?
By not killing me.
You scary.
Let's go ahead and play a Forest for turn. And then I will tap 4 for Nylea Keen-Eyed. She's a 5/6 indestructible creature that says as long as my devotion to green is less than 5, it's not a creature. My creature spells cost 1 less to cast, and I can reveal the top card of my library. If I pay 3, if it's a creature, I can put that into my hand. Otherwise, I get to put it into the graveyard. And my devotion to green is indeed 5, so it is going to be a creature. I'll get a couple of triggers. I'm gonna get to trigger Varys, and I will go into the storeroom. I'm gonna go ahead and put that counter onto Varys. So rather than just eat 1 gnome, I'm gonna come in Mist Breath in combat to Quincy. You're at 50 life.
I'll eat it all. I'll take it.
All right, you're gonna take that, and I will get to make another wolf, and you'll mill 10 cards from the body and mind.
That's unfortunate. Ooh. I will take 7.
I'm gonna go ahead and just pay 1 because I have a discount, which is nice, to recast the Biophagus. And that'll do it, I'll pass the turn.
Pay 1, sacrifice a food. 1, 2, 3, gain 3 life. Rapacious Guest will get a counter, going up to 6. Haha. We will pay 1, 2, 3 for a party tree, the Great Henge. It is spell cost X less to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures I control. I can tap it to add 2 green and gain 2 life, and whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under my control, put a 1/1 counter on it and draw a card. After getting milled 20 cards, the top card being a party tree, yes! Oh my gosh, okay, this has turned into a real Hobbit party. It's time to party. Party hearty. We will bring out the prized pig, trigger off the party tree. It will come in with a counter, and I will draw a card. I will play a land for turn. It is a plains. I will tap the plains, play Frodo, Sauron's Bane, trigger off the party tree. We'll get a counter.
I feel better about hitting you.
That milling 10 was great because it put the party tree right on top. Draw a card. I am fully tapped out. Actually, I am not, because the party tree gives me stuff. I can't use it. So moving on, moving to combat. Sam will go ahead and create me a food. We love Sam. We love the chefs here. Thank you, Samantha. We'll just do this. We're gonna attack with Frodo, Adventurous Hobbit. I did gain 3 life this turn, so trigger. So the ring will tempt me a 3rd time, and whenever the ring bearer becomes blocked by a creature, that creature's controller sacrifices it at the end of combat. But because the first ability, it cannot be blocked by creatures with greater power. I will swing Frodo for 1 at NerdGirl. The attack trigger will happen. I will draw a card and discard a card. We will go ahead and discard this Orchard Strider. So I will just attack you for 1 commander damage, NerdGirl.
I could block it, but I don't want to lose my Biophage, so I will take the 1 commander.
Mwahaha. Second main, pass turn.
I think I just want to play this card. I really liked it when it came out. So I'm going to pay 5 for Imrith, Desert Doom. 5/5 flyer, has ward 4 as long as it's untapped, and if it hits somebody, I draw, and then draw up to 3 cards in hand if I have less than that. I guess I can poke at some people. Yeah, just kidding about all that. I would never hurt anybody. I will pass the turn.
Oh, Gandalf, you gentle giant, you.
Gandalf the pacifist.
Just Gandalf the pass.
All right, untap, upkeep, trigger, because I have my commander this time.
Tavern Brawler.
Woo! Ooh, light up the stage.
Oh, no.
It's a sorcery that I can exile the top 2 cards of my library until the end of my next turn. I may play those cards. And now Lulu gets +3/+0 until end of turn because of light up the stage mana value. I'm going to cast Taunt from the Rampart.
Huh?
Exactly. I'm going to goad all creatures your opponents control. Until my next turn, those creatures can't block. And in case you didn't know, goading means that those creatures attack each combat if able and attack a player other than me.
So no creatures can block either?
That's correct.
Huh.
Mr. Blue player.
Uh-huh.
Gandalf the Sir.
Yep,
And
sounds good to me.
I know you only have 1 blue open. I took care to notice that. Those who carry a sword shall meet their death first.
I have a bow.
And a sword.
No?
Body and mind?
Yeah, that frog has got a
I
sword.
don't have that.
Okay, well. An elephant never forgets when your wolf attacked me. Moving to combat, I'm going to send my legendary creatures at NerdGirl and my gnomes at Veggie. But I have attack triggers too. So let's have an Impikal get a +1/+1 counter. Since there are 5 counters, because of the counter on an Impikal, I now have 5 gnomes that entered, a total of 6 without a +1/+1 counter on it. And I will draw a card and put a creature from my hand with value 4 or less into play tapped and attacking. The Enterprising Scallywag, a 2/2 goblin pirate, where at the beginning of my end step, if I descended this turn, I create a treasure token, which happens when a permanent card was put into my graveyard from anywhere, which probably won't happen this turn. All of the gnomes and the scallywag are attacking. And before damage, I'm gonna activate Castle Embrith for Xaxes and give all of my creatures +1/+0 until the end of turn.
Now, if my math is correct, I think I just live. Only just.
I didn't math correctly, but math is for blockers. Oh wait, you can't!
That's okay, I live.
Yeah, and then this is 12 plus 3 is 15 coming to Veggie.
And the scallywag.
And the scallywag, which is 18 coming to Veggie.
Easy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, damage.
I'm at 2. Zbexx putting me down to 2 means I'm probably dead anyway. But if the 3 of us work together as a team and try to pull our punches, we might be able to survive.
Okay, I'm passing.
Okay, hear me out, team. We don't kill each other, and Veggie bounces everything.
Oh, that's right. You have that in your hand.
Just,
You wouldn't want to end a party.
I'm trying to save the party.
No. So I was expecting to take it all anyway, so.
But I'm saying you'll take mostly none of it. But you're gonna kill me.
Probably.
I like being in favor with you, Quincy.
It's your only chance.
I don't think so.
They can gain a lot of life.
Okay, well then, Veggie, I'll just give
Not that
you
that's
your
binding.
best chance, and I will try to help you. My Mist Breath will just bounce, I guess the thing that does no damage. I also got a counter onto the Mist Breath for bouncing a creature. I will replay the Biophagus with a discount thanks to Nylea, which will trigger Varus, which allows me to move through the dungeon and give me 1 additional card draw. And I have completed the dungeon, so I will get to use Varus's ability and make another wolf friend.
Whoa.
I'm going to play Sword of the Animist. Equipped creature gets +1/+1, and whenever equipped creature attacks, I can search my library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle. All right, I will pay 2, and we are going to equip it to Varus. And Quincy is not a team player, so
After you just hit me with a sword and made me mill.
it helped you.
Irregardless.
So anyway, Quincy, you don't want to be on my team, so I'm attacking you with everything. That's what I've got.
22. In response to that, just to cushion it a little bit, I will tap the party tree, add 2 green to my mana pool, gain 2 life. I will use the 2 mana to sacrifice both my food, gain 6 life. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Rapacious Guest will trigger off of those 2 sacrificed foods and go up to an 8/8. And I will take how much damage?
22.
22 damage.
Yeah, so then I'll get to make another wolf that can't block, and you'll mill 10 more cards.
Oh boy, oh boy.
I also had an attack trigger that I got to get a forest, put it onto the battlefield tapped, and then I'll pass to Quincy.
We'll play a Canopy Vista for land. It enters tapped unless I control 2 more basic lands. So it'll be untapped with all of the land that I do control. How do I want to do this? We'll put 3. Rosie Cotton of South Lane. When Rosie Cotton of South Lane enters the battlefield, I create a food. Whenever I create a token, put a 1/1 counter on target creature I control other than Rosie. The Rapacious Guest is going to see that and be like, oh, more food! I would love more food. And we will make it bigger. So it'll have 7 counters on it. We move to combat. All right, start of combat, Sam will trigger and I will create a food. I will, before attacks are declared, sacrifice 1 and a food. Rosie will trigger from the food created from Sam. I will give that food, creating a token trigger to Rapacious Guest, sacrificing the food, gain 3 life. Rapacious Guest will see that and gain another counter.
Hear me out.
Veggie.
If you leave me alive, all my stuff will be done to Zbexx to give you a better shot. I think
I tried to make the same
it's much easier
deal.
to beat me than it is to beat her.
I still have a favor to give you. What do you want your favor to be?
Everything that I'm able to do, I will do to Zbexx.
Maybe I won't attack you next turn. If you want.
How is the deal being considered now? I don't
That's
understand.
a pretty good deal. This blank check is coming in clutch right now. Just all I'm saying.
God.
15 will go to Veggie, and 2 will go to NerdGirl. The triggers will happen. I have attack triggers with Frodo. Because I gain 3 or more life this turn, the ring will tempt me a 4th time, and it will get the ultimate and last ability. And whenever the ring bearer deals combat damage to a player, each opponent will lose 3 life. But when he does attack, I will draw a card and discard a card, and move to resolving attacks.
I cannot declare any blocks, but in response, I will flash in subtlety and exile this Devastation Tide, and then it'll get sacrificed.
No blocks.
That's all I got.
I
shall pass.
All right.
Dead.
Because combat damage was dealt to another player, Zbexx, you will take 3 damage. I will pay 3 to play Mary, Warden of Isengard. Partner with Pippin, Warden of Isengard. When this creature enters the battlefield, target player may put Pippin into their hand from my library and shuffle. And whenever 1 or more artifacts enter the battlefield under my control, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token with lifelink, and this ability triggers only once each turn. We will do the party tree trigger first, to where it will get 1 counter, and I will draw a card, and I will go search for Pippin, Warden of Isengard, and put that in my hand. And I will pass the turn.
Okay. Got an upkeep trigger from my Tavern Brawler. We're exiling Mentor of the Meek. 2/2, whenever another creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield under my control. I may pay 1 if I do draw a card, which means Lulu gets +3/+0 until end of turn, and I could play Mentor of the Meek. Draw for turn.
It was nice knowing you, Quincy.
I mean, do you have anything that you would like to ask for favor during my turn?
If I can, just don't attack me.
You had to have left one of us alive for that to work.
No matter what Quincy offers, I have a pretty good board state, and I have a deflecting palm in my hand, just in case. I'm going to play Den of the Bugbear as my land for turn. It can tap for red, or I can pay 4 and make it a 3/2 red goblin creature with whenever it attacks, create a 1/1 red goblin creature that's tapped and attacking. It's still a land, but it must enter tapped since I have 2 or more other lands. You want 1 free turn?
I would like 1 free turn. Let it be known, though, the fact that you got your elephant back was the fact that you were also able to remove 2 players from the board.
I will accept your favor of 1 turn of not attacking, because I am good at keeping the fortune's favor.
This is baloney.
I love being the new person on the table.
Since I'm not going to attack you, I will still make use of my extra card. I will cast Mentor of the Meek.
It's a great card.
So I will pass.
On your end step, we will tap the party tree to gain 2 green. I will gain 2 life. I will use 1 of that green to sacrifice a food, gaining 3 life. Sacrificing to the Rapacious Guest will get 1 counter. And we will move to my turn. We will pay a swamp and a forest to play Pippin, Warden of Isengard. As you can see, we have assembled the Exodia of the Lord of the Rings. All 4 hobbitses have acquired to the board. Pippin, Warden of Isengard, enters. He is partnered with Mary, Warden of Isengard, and I can pay 1 and tap him to create a food token, or I can tap him to sacrifice 4 food, and other creatures I control get +3/+3 and gain haste until end of turn. So having all 4 of the main hobbits on the field really helps my synergy. I make food with Sam. I get in damage with Frodo. I also make more food with Mary and Pippin. They just all work so well together. I'm so glad to have them on the board. I wanted him out for flavor.
Fool of a took.
We will move to combat. Sam will create a food. Rosie sees the food token and will give a counter to the Rapacious Guest. Mary also sees the creation of an artifact and will create a 1/1 white soldier creature token with lifelink. Rosie also sees the creation of a soldier or a token and will give that token, 1/1 token, to the Rapacious Guest. We will full send no thoughts head empty. No, I like you too. All right, just these guys. I have attack triggers for Frodo. Frodo will allow me to draw a card and discard a card.
Okay, I'm gonna move to blockers, and I do have 1 power thing, so I can block Frodo.
You can indeed.
So I will use 1 gnome to block Frodo, 2 gnomes to block the guest, 1 gnome to block the prized pig, and another gnome to block the last creature, the other Frodo. So I will have 5 out of 6 1/1 gnomes that I'm declaring as blockers.
Amazing. So nothing gets through.
Well, I do have a spell to cast.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Fight to the Death. Let's brawl. I will destroy all blocking creatures and all blocked creatures.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that happens. Rapacious Guest has a trigger when it dies. When it leaves the battlefield, target opponent loses life equal to its power. You will lose 14 life.
Okay, so I will lose 14 life and go to something. To 7. I'll go 7.
My creatures will die. Frodo, Adventurous Hobbit, will return to the command zone. The ring will get back there. Oh no. I'll play a Scattered Groves. Comes in tapped. Second main phase, I will tap the Commander's Sphere for a black and a white. I will play Night's Whisper, which is I draw 2 cards and lose 2 life.
I hope that 2 life makes a difference.
Oh, is it the dead? Oh.
We're coming back to haunt you.
I will pass the turn.
I will untap and have an upkeep trigger. That's what I got. Let's find out how big Lulu might get this turn. Ooh, Hoffrey Ghostforge, 5 mana, so Lulu will get +5/+0. I'll play a Slayer's Stronghold for turn. I can pay 2 and tap to give target creature +2/+0 and Vigilance and Haste until the end of turn. I will, for 3, cast Tajik, Legion's Edge, a 3/2 haste with Mentor, prevent all non-combat damage that would be dealt to other creatures I control, and I can pay 2, a red and a white, to give it first strike until the end of turn. So let's take it to the brawl room!
Take it to the brawl! And in this corner!
I am going to send in the team, and I will have a trigger. Pakal gets bigger. I will create more gnomes. There's going to be, I'll take a, thank you, 6 more gnomes coming into play. So now I have 7 gnomes that do not have a +1/+1 counter on it, also tapped and attacking at you. And I will get this trigger. Great! Elizabeth's power is 4. So Amber Grizzle Maul will come in, a 3/3 with haste, and whenever it attacks, you may discard a card from your hand, but because it comes in tapped and attacking, I don't get that. So it's just another body getting in there for some beats. Tajik is going to mentor on, let's keep around our enterprising scallywag with a token. And then before you do anything else, drawing cards sounds fun, but I'll save that for next turn if there is such a thing.
Oh, okay. Wow. How much are you attacking me with?
Well, currently it's
39, just
39.
over.
39, so I must block, but because of the spell, they don't take combat damage, but I'm gonna block just to
it's all non-combat damage.
Oh, okay. So
So it's only if you're trying to burn my creatures or something.
I will burn you with my green.
Yeah.
I will block my 1/1 soldier to that one. Ending Pakal. I will use Mary, Warden of Isengard, to block your Paladin. Pippin will block, what is that one? The one in the red down here.
3/3.
A 3/3, yeah. Pippin will block that one. And I will send Rosie to block Tajik, and Sam, Loyal Attendant, will block one of your gnomes.
I will go ahead and activate my Castle Embereth to give creatures I control +1/+0 until end of turn. So now Elizabeth will be a 5/3, which will be big enough to trade with Mary.
No responses. I cannot do anything.
Okay, we may move to the damage step.
Yes. So, okay, so combat happens. All of my stuff will die except for Sam. The soldier does have lifelink, so instead of taking 32 damage, I will take 31.
And I will lose a gnome out of all of that.
It's a good trade. All right.
You're still alive.
1, 2.
32, a powerful hit. Where did you go that low?
Wait, hang on. No, 32.
And that, but you're only 31.
31. So I have 7. So we're even now.
Well, now I will move to my end step, and because a permanent I control left the battlefield, thank you for bringing my elephant back. I will put a +1/+1 counter on everything that's tapped, and then untap them.
Sure.
You got this. Easy.
I fully believe in myself.
It's only 7 damage. to
It's
sneak
only
through.
7 damage. Like, what's the worst that could
You
happen?
probably could do it somehow.
I don't know. On your end step, I will tap the party tree to gain 2 life. And we'll move to my turn. Untap. Okay. We will play a forest. And tap a swamp. Commander Sphere for a swamp. 1, 2, 3, total 5 for a Sanguine Bond.
Oh!
It is an enchantment. Whenever I gain life, target opponent loses that much life.
How many food do you have? You have 1 food?
I
That's
will move
5?
to combat. Sam will create a food. Before attackers are declared, I will tap the party tree, gaining 2 life. You will take 2 life off the Sanguine
Oh, wait,
Bond.
wait, that's losing life, right? It's not.
No,
Target-
gain life, you lose.
I
Yeah.
know, but I
Oh,
just had to
yes.
make sure
Yeah,
for my
you-
card in my hand.
You lose that much life.
Okay, so I'm losing
2
2 life.
I will take the 2 mana from the party tree to eat the 2 food, gaining 6 life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sanguine Bond will trigger. You will lose 6 life. Food fight! Oh my goodness, good game!
Good game.
That was fun.
That was epic.
Got plenty of time.
Fabulous. I will take an hour.
It's like real combat in D&D.
Yeah.
You don't threaten the guy who pours the drinks. This was so much fun. Oh my gosh. Hobbits, food, going out with life gain. Perfect. I had so much fun. Check, please.
Don't forget to support your favorite Commander show by doing something you were going to do anyway, and that's buy Magic singles. And you can do so by using our sponsor, TOA.
It really is that easy, and Tales of Adventure has a wide selection of singles from the most basic printings all the way through the most premium versions. And they've also started stocking sealed product now, so you don't need to go anywhere else for anything Magic.
And you get 5% off your entire order when you use code DECKEDOUT at checkout.
And you should know by now, the link is down in the description, right there.
I just want to make my own buffet here. Don't mind me.
Our Lemba's included.
Lemba spread. I actually tried to make a lemba spread, and it's like a little sugar cookie. They're really cute. They're very tasty.
I love sweetbread. I didn't see the Sanguine Bond coming. If only I would have bartered a little bit more with Quincy the turn before, maybe gotten to attack with 1 creature like Commander, I would have had close to enough damage to get rid of him. Well, I guess you can call Lulu a Dumbo now because I made a favor unpredicted.
If you're building decks and you're not using Moxfield, then I feel bad for you. It just is the best tool for organizing, customizing, and collaborating on all of your decks.
In fact, it's the only way that our team can keep up with building sometimes over 20 decks per month. And it's the way that we can share our deck lists with you in a nice, easy format.
You can always support the show too, just by following us on Moxfield, where you can find every deck that's ever been on the show.
Ooh, do we have otters?
I think so.
You otter.
Can we get a counter? Like a Zbexx pun counter?
Yeah.
Zbexx and I both have creature-based decks, but she was able to develop her board much faster than I was. Unfortunately, I huffed and I puffed, but her house was made of bricks. Ultimate Guard is the industry leader in TCG accessories.
And Ultimate Guard products are the way that all 3 of us on the Decked Out team are able to organize, protect, and display our collections. And they're the best way to show off all of our cards on camera for you.
So make sure you use the link down below in the description to support the show and pick yourself up some amazing upgrades.
That's a lot of words for Elmo.
Right? That's my favorite. Big, much work for okay payoff? Yes. That's my kind of magic.
Thank you.
Veggie won't need one of those.
I'll share it with you of what could have been.
Oh. Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
You said the thing. I'm so immersed.
Steve Urkel, more like unsleeve Herkel. Maybe if I had gotten a few more cards off of its trigger during the game, I would have had the resources to fight back against the ridiculous board states. Or maybe if I had just cast Gandalf, the fear of untapped blue mana would have struck into my hearts of the enemies, but none of those things happened, and it didn't, and that is the end of the interview.
We'd like to wrap things up by thanking our patrons. Without your support, we wouldn't be able to film these episodes.
It is specifically thanks to patrons like you, Sam, that we are able to keep this show weekly, and that means so much to us.
And if you're not a part of the show, you can join us by signing up for our Patreon. You'll get exclusive perks, signed tokens, spell table games with us, even get your deck featured on the channel. And we're working on getting everyone who's on our Patreon early access to our episodes.
And of course, Samwise, you can always support the show by clicking like and subscribing to the channel. That's all we've got for you for today. We'll see you next time on
Decked Out.